she releases this, she's got it. Make no mistake. Just like she keeps bringing the goods, and she just sets the hook with the worm on it, or puts the mousetrap out with the cheese on it, and they come out and say you're a liar, and she goes, boom.
Private communications, videos, and private legal documents. So if anything happens to me, you guys will know exactly who it is that has been making my life a living hell.
Back to you. Have you heightened your security? I asked you that question because I heard that you've spoken about that. I'm just asking. I don't know. Interested in it. Have you?
Well, let's be frank. I have not heightened my security, to answer your question. And the reason for that is because I understand what kind of demons we're fighting.
Candace Owens just confirmed on camera that she's expecting to be taken out, not canceled, not sued, physically removed. And the people she's accusing, they're not just YouTubers or political rivals. We're talking billionaires, foreign governments. And now Alex Jones is stepping in, saying he knows exactly who's behind it. When Charlie Kirk died, the headlines moved too clean, too fast. No questions, just closure. And Candace wasn't buying it. She refused to move on. While others posted scripture quotes and PR-approved condolences, Candace didn't echo the sadness. She echoed suspicion. And now Candace has officially gone nuclear. After revealing a set of controversial text messages connected to Charlie Kirk's death, she has now escalated the situation by publicly announcing that she created what she calls a life insurance policy, not financial, but informational.
I went ahead this week and sent around a life insurance policy of sorts, a package rather, to people that I trust, a package filled with text messages, emails, private communications, videos, and private legal documents. So if anything happens to me, you guys will know exactly who it is that has been making my life a living hell.
She claims to have compiled a massive archive of private communications, legal documents, emails, screenshots, unreleased videos, and even confidential texts involving high-profile figures from Turning Point USA, PragerU, and the Daily Wire. And she says that the archive has already been distributed to multiple trusted figures across the political landscape. Names like the Tate brothers, Tucker Carlson, Max Blumenthal, Dave Rubin, Dave Smith, and others. Their instructions are simple. If anything happens to her, release everything.
People that are trying to bankrupt me and my family, that are threatening us to sue us.
To be clear, she isn't talking about cancellations, boycotts, or lawsuits. She is openly implying the threat is physical. She believes someone is trying to bankrupt her, silence her, and possibly remove her entirely. And according to her, it's not coming from the left. It's coming from people she once worked alongside. The shift began after Charlie Kirk's death. She hinted that powerful figures were attempting to bury the truth and that she wasn't going to let them. That alone caused panic across conservative media circles. Now she says she finally understood what Kanye West meant when he warned her. If you don't control your own voice, someone else will, and they'll weaponize it against you.
Everything that Kanye said was so real. Okay, I'm now at that point where you look back and you go, man, Kanye was right. He was really saying something about what it takes to leave, to fight for custody of your own soul. Just leave me alone. Let me say what I believe and you say what you believe. Fight fair. Why do you always have to make this threat to bankrupt people?
According to her, the same forces that targeted Kanye are now circling her.
And which got picked up was to create a kill switch, right? To realize that Kanye was kind of right. Never too late to say that Kanye was right. Kanye said that in order to be free, you had to violate these contracts. You had to recognize that your voice is being controlled. And Kanye did just that. It was really an act of bravery to free himself. But I have no doubt that the same people that were torturing Kanye, the same people that were torturing Charlie Kirk, Kanye died today, would be the first to eulogize him. I feel that. I feel that, and I think it's important to share that information. As Kanye sent me all of the messages of people who were threatening him, I have them all, to information share with Max Blumenthal, with people, people all over the place, to send a package and say, if anything happens to me and it looks suspicious, release it all.
And now she's daring them to try. She has allegedly armed multiple people with enough dirt to detonate political careers across the right.
And I want you to know that those people, if anything happens to me, they have my explicit permission to release it all, detonate it all, expose all of these people in politics and in the movement who behave like this behind the scenes. It's necessary. And I highly recommend every single person that is out there that has a platform and is going through things and is scared, do the same. Send everything around to about 8 people that you trust. And I mean, I've ranged it. I sent it to journalists, text messages, and screenshots to people ranging from Max Blumenthal to Andrew Tate. They won't know where it's coming from.
This revelation sent shockwaves across conservative circles. Most former allies went silent or distanced themselves. Ben Shapiro hasn't acknowledged it. Dave Rubin hasn't commented. Turning Point USA has ignored it entirely. That's when something unexpected happened. Alex Jones stepped forward. Jones, who's been blacklisted from mainstream media for years, is now one of the few people publicly defending her. He claims Candace has credibility. He says she's not lying.
Oh, I don't think Candace is lying. She's done this repeatedly where they say she's a liar, she releases it. So what's going to happen when this comes out that he thought Israel was going to kill?
He insists Charlie Kirk did reach out to her before his death, expressing concerns about certain political lobbies and internal pressure. He claims Candace baited her enemies, waiting for them to call her a liar before she released proof, one receipt at a time.
When she releases this, she's got it. Make no mistake. Just like she keeps bringing the goods, and she just sets the hook with the worm on it, or puts the mousetrap out with the cheese on it, and they come out and say, "You're a liar." And she goes, boom. "You're a liar." Boom. "You're a liar." Boom. "You're a liar." Boom. Bam. So, and she'll let them, for a week or so kind of stew and say she's a liar, and then she'll just release it. And then what she's saying is, you kill me, it doesn't matter, it's coming out. And the word is, he specifically thought Israel was going to kill him.
According to Jones, Candace is playing a long game. She releases evidence in waves, never all at once, allowing her critics to deny, then humiliating them with receipts. He compared it to a trap.
What does she lay the traps for him? She comes out and says, "Yeah, Charlie was calling me, wanting me out of his events, again, and all the rest of it." And he was also really concerned about the Israel lobby coming after him. And they said, "You're a liar. Charlie doesn't like you. Charlie didn't like you. Charlie didn't call you. He didn't text you." And so she let him say that for a few weeks and then released it.
Candace isn't just leaking messages. She's rewriting the conversation. Instead of allowing her enemies to frame her as unstable or conspiratorial, she's reframing herself as a whistleblower, someone who knows too much and refuses to be scared into silence. Insiders say this stopped being about Charlie a long time ago. This is about control. Conservative media platforms don't operate on faith or ideology. They run on billionaire funding. And when someone publicly challenges the donors or questions where the money comes from, the machine reacts. Many believe Candace crossed a line when she publicly opposed certain foreign lobbies, especially on the Israel issue.
So Charlie writes in this group chat, just lost another huge Jewish donor, $2 million a year because we won't cancel Tucker. I'm thinking of inviting Candace. Charlie writes, Jewish donors play into all of the stereotypes. I cannot and will not be bullied like this, leaving me no choice but to leave the pro-Israel cause.
That's when many of her former allies turned on her overnight. She was disinvited from events. People stopped returning her calls. Longtime friends unfollowed her online. And in her words, she started receiving pressure, legal threats, financial intimidation, attempts to isolate her. Jones confirmed that this is the same tactic used by previous whistleblowers who exposed royal family scandals and political blackmail operations. He even compared it to James O'Keefe's insurance policy before releasing evidence involving Prince Andrew.
So those of you saying O'Keefe doesn't risk his life and all the stuff he's been through and been arrested and indicted and raided, try putting on his shoes for a while before you sit around and say that he didn't do anything. Man's a champion. But the point is that this is a real dead man switch. She has sent out it to the Tate brothers, Dave Smith, Max Blumenthal, Tucker Carlson, and others. Well, I'm trying to get her on for weeks. I'm a little bummed out she didn't send it to me, because I'd like to stand with her, but we do stand with her.
At this point, the political right is split. Some say Candace is spiraling. Others say she's awakening. But no one can deny one fact. The silence from her critics is louder than any statement. If she were lying, they would aggressively disprove her. Instead, they pretend she doesn't exist. She claims several major conservative media figures are calling her unstable, that multiple outlets are privately trying to discredit her. Influencers who once praised her are now whispering behind her back, yet none of them will confront her directly, likely out of fear that she'll drop more evidence, and that's where things get darker. Some political analysts believe that Charlie Kirk had also reached a breaking point before his death, that he started to question narratives he was once aligned with, that he grew suspicious of the very machine he helped build. If that's true, and if Candace's claims about his private texts are accurate, it suggests there was more tension behind the scenes than anyone realized. And now, Candace is pointing fingers at none other than Josh Hammer, who might be responsible for everything.
That is why I named Josh Hammer. I believe he is a deeply disturbed man. Comprehend it. Whatever that is that lives in him does not live in me. There is no truth in him. Obviously, there is no truth in Josh Hammer. He could have said, "Oh, Charlie was going through 48 hours earlier." Yeah, he didn't. He refused to do that. And in fact, I'm quite alarmed with what I know that there are 3 people who said that Charlie communicated 24 hours before he died that he thought they were going to kill. Now I find it rather alarming that Josh Hammer is similarly saying, "Oh, the night before." So you spoke to him the night before. Did he communicate that to you, Josh Hammer? Did he? I'm interested. I know we won't get answers from you, but let me promise you that if I get a text message to the effect that you were somehow involved in him feeling anxiety the day before, if you did something that gave him anxiety in that way, I will release it instantly. There will be no place that you can hide.
Another person added that this means the wife knows as well. Someone else replied to that comment, writing, "Charlie Kirk's wifey was a honeypot. She was also Trump's Miss USA 13 years ago, and then they met in one of Charlie's turning point events. How about rumors of her Romanian Angelus trafficking children and USA Army cover-up in Romania? Spies that are going to become handlers have to create a repertoire of life that they supposedly lived before getting together with their targets to become handlers." Candace openly says she's ready for whatever comes next. She knows people are calling her reckless. She knows certain government agencies are watching. But at this point, she doesn't care. Because in her mind, she's already been targeted. If what she says is true, this isn't just political drama. It's the prelude to the biggest conservative civil war in modern history. And she's daring them to make the first move.